get food. It's like when it's really deep snow, and then it's like late winter is when we usually have attacks around here. And it's like a year, usually like young cougars, like 1 year old cougar that's it's like their first winter away from mom. They're hungry, and then they'll just like they'll snatch kids off the playground. So
Damn, they're
but
committing
not
like the
me.
Geneva Convention of like hunting in the wild.
They don't no, they don't need that. They're just like, whatever, I'm gonna eat you.
It's either they die or commit war
Damn, they're committing
crimes,
like the
hunting war
Geneva
crimes
Convention of like
by
hunting in the
snatching children.
wild. They don't Yeah, no, I think I know it's bad, but I would like the chance to go up against a
Die
cougar
or
someday and
commit
like with my bare
war
hands and
war crimes,
just
hunting war.
oh, probably not gonna
Yeah,
end for me. But I'm curious. Like, could I be one of those people that just fights them off with my little bare hands?
yeah. I mean, who wouldn't want a chance to have a one-on-one against a wild cougar? I mean, I'm sure I have to probably say right before you do that, you should probably consult our friend Amis down there in the listeners. Maybe he has some tips and tricks on how to survive
Oh, I was
a
thinking,
cougar attack.
I was thinking you were gonna say before you do that, get your camera on because like pictures or it didn't happen. So I
I mean,
I'm gonna be
that
going
should
for
have already been implied, but if I
yeah.
have to say it, yeah, picture it didn't happen, Canessa.
Yeah, I should wear a GoPro to work just so that if I ever get attacked, I can like actually that's like job security. So then I could go viral and be like, if I'm gonna get mauled by a wild animal, I might as well do it for the TikTok or do it for the Vine. I could get like 6 seconds of my struggle.
Well,
Oh.
think about this. If you get mauled by the cougar and you're screaming, "Do it for the vine, do it for the vine," since it may be your last words, perhaps Elon will be like, "You know what? I'm gonna kickstart Vine. I'm gonna do it in honor of Canessa."
Okay, I just got an idea. Okay, so like, what if I rub bacon grease on me and go out there and like set this whole thing up? I could be baiting the cougars for like 2 weeks, and then all of a sudden, like, here I come, and I'm doing it for the vine. Like, just one of us needs to like take it for the team,
You
and
you know that's frowned upon to being a content creator that kind of baits an animal. Like for example, like with fishing, there's all these like shark fishing content videos like on YouTube and stuff like that, and they're catching like the biggest shark in the universe. But what they don't say is that they're taking another shark and then they're like hooking it alive and then letting it out, which kind of like is like in a way a little bit of cheating.
okay, so you think rubbing like bacon grease all over me and trying to get attacked by a cougar is cheating?
It'll make you delicious.
I, if I accidentally get killed by a cougar, this one is going to be so horrific. You're going to be like, oh my God, we didn't try to stop her. But anyway, Mies, you came up here, and I think Mies is way more logical than you and I put together. I'm sorry, Sin, but Mies, how are you?
Hey, happy Saturday, everyone, and good afternoon, good morning. And so, yeah, I don't really spend a whole bunch of time out in the mountains. I mean, I do sometimes when I'm in Canada, but normally, I go like on hiking trails that are pretty well frequented. But I would say, as far as like protecting yourself, definitely being with more people, I would say, if that's always a plus. If you have at least more than, just yourself present, that's always good. I always carry a compass, just because I don't know if I'll lose somehow my GPS will die, or maybe my phone, doesn't get service. Or and then I also have there's other apps out there. If you're doing like hiking on trails, there's an app called All Trails, ALL Trails. And there's a pro plan. I think it's like you can get it for like $20 a year on sale, if you just like Google whatever the discount code is, and or on Instagram ads. I think they run them on there too. And so I buy that, and that you can like download the maps, and you can kind of track yourself without having service, which is pretty cool.
I love that. I do a lot of hiking during the summer, and I'm usually where usually know where I am. I used to work for the Forest Service, and so luckily, like, you can usually tell, but I mean, when you get in a valley, sometimes it's hard. The reason we're talking about is I work on the weekends grooming a cross country ski trail on a snowmobile by myself in the mountains. And there was a cougar killed a donkey in the field where I groom like 2 years ago. So that's why if anybody wants to know why we usually are talking about like uh, cougars in the woods. It's because I get up at like 5:30 in the morning to groom before it warms up. So that's why I'm like, there is nobody else out there but me, and so yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you do in that situation. I mean, I guess you could carry bear spray. I think that's what most people would probably tell you. I think that it works pretty well on them, but I think that I don't think it's breeding season, so like at least that's the good news. I don't know if you saw like the videos of one in like the mountains of California, like in LA or something, and a cougar was like chasing this family for like half a mile or something, and she was defending her cubs. But normally that's like the dangerous situation. But just the winter time, right? And you're doing snow, maybe there's not a lot of food supply out there. And so, maybe there is a bad situation where it's like, hey, it's like it's survival.
Yeah, I think that's just the risk that, like, if you're gonna go out there, you got to just be okay with it. And I think like, for me, I think it's so good to be in nature when we're always in web 3. Like, I like to go to web 0 and actually just be out of cell phone service and put yourself in those situations that, not being reckless, but put yourself out there where you do have to rely on yourself. Like, I like to say, you can learn more about yourself in one night in the wilderness alone than like 100 nights in your own bed. Or you can learn more about yourself meeting one bear in the wilderness than 100 people. So um, yeah, definitely. I don't know. It helps put things into perspective. Definitely, when you're just behind a computer screen all day, it's nice to get out there.
Well, honestly, I'm just glad that we don't really have those in Florida. We've got our Florida Panthers. They're a lot smaller, so they're probably not quite as aggressive either. And there's probably not as many of them. That's also another guess of mine. In Florida, we really have we don't even, we don't have grizzlies, right? I'm sure you have to deal with those.
Yeah, they have brought them back, but if you ask anybody, they have not brought them back. But so depending on who you ask, they're here or they're not.
Of course, of course. And black bears are very docile. I really haven't heard of really any situations to where they've, I don't know, just been extremely dangerous to people. I mean, I've known people that the new people that have died from grizzlies while they're out hunting or doing something else. So like we're very fortunate here in Florida. Our most dangerous things for the most part are like fire ants, and I mean, I guess technically alligators, but as long as you're not like in the water, or like standing or laying at the water line, you're probably fine.
Oh, I don't know, man. That seems so scary. You got like gators, you got sharks in the ocean. You don't you have like wild released constrictors that'll just come and get you, and brain eating amoebas in the water.
Oh yeah,
Don't
we got
don't forget
those.
about
But
don't forget about the flesh-eating bacteria at the beaches.
yeah, I mean, I don't really go to the beaches. I mean, I do for photos, but I actually wear all clothes. Like I wear fully clothed. I wear like socks, shoes. I wear pants like for outdoors, like very lightweight, like fishing pants, and then I wear like long sleeve shirt, hat, all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's crazy how many toxins though do wash up on some of our beaches here and other stuff. Unfortunately, especially after like the hurricanes, we had a lot of there's a lot of things got thrown around, and so just kind of contaminated stuff.
Whoa. That's weird. Yeah, you had like a bad red tide a few, was it like 2 years ago or something? Like,
We have them all the time.
really?
Yeah, it feels like we have them every year, right?
Yeah, it's every year. We get them every year for sure.
It's like
Yeah.
one year was just worse than the other years because, like, I don't know, like whoever was that was in charge of it didn't drain the dam or some shit. I forget exactly what the details were, and so then yeah, it was like extra worse for that year.
Yep. So in Florida, just so everyone knows, we have probably about 100 years ago, Florida Army Corps of Engineers decided just literally to just gut the south part of the state and just completely change all of the water flow and pretty much just like change it from the way that everything was working properly. And so then after that, a million people built homes in Florida and in those areas that would normally flood that no longer really flood. And then we've had issues with all kinds of stuff from like the red tide coming out to the Gulf. And another thing is, so what we do is we've had to build as a state like water retention areas and storage areas, and we've also had to build like levees and all kinds of other things and dams so that we can control all the water flow from, like, we have what's called like Lake Okeechobee. It's in the middle of the state. It's by Orlando, and kind of it's a little south. So that lake, that's where a lot of our water comes from, like over here on the west coast of Florida. And so that's what like the runoff is. And so yeah, we store water, we control all that stuff, and when it isn't done properly, or when people think it isn't done properly, then they get angry. And so it's tough to manage though. It's yeah, it's really difficult.
That's wild. Yeah, it's fascinating having people from all over the world, all over the country, and just having these completely different circumstances that they deal with every day. And it's like, yeah, it's no big deal. It's just flesh eating amoeba or anything like that. Like, it definitely makes me feel like we're such a global audience.
Yeah, I mean that stuff is real. I mean, just so everyone knows, I one of the guys I went to college with, I think it was his kid actually. I think it was like his kid or his cousin or something. I can't remember what it was. But one of the guys I went to college with actually, his relative died. I was a young kid, and it was from the water. Like, he got the brain-eating amoeba, and it was from swimming in a lake during the summertime in really hot water. And so, probably not a good idea to go swimming and, like, I don't know, put your ears and head and immerse and flop around and push it through your body a whole bunch if the water's extremely warm. Unfortunately, that's just yeah, the reality of it. So, but we do have lots of, if you want to go in, you go in the ocean. That's, I guess that's where you go.
I don't know, man. That sounds scary. I will take our 50-degree water and just suck it up, and nobody eats my brain for free except for the cougars. But dang, that's gnarly.
Yeah. I mean, most of, where I live here, a lot of people you don't really go in the water in the lakes. Like, there are some places that people do, but you're mostly going in the ocean, like, because the lakes mostly have alligators in them. Like, yeah, you can deal with those or whatever. Just like, they won't mess with you most of the time, but there is that, that chance.
Well, I will have to be careful next time I go to Florida or the South. I will have to take like a survival kit to be like, I don't know how you guys do it, but
Well, yeah, it's more of like the humidity and the heat here. I mean, you're like in the summertime, you're sweating within like a couple of minutes of walking outside.
yeah, no, no, I'm not gonna do it. I can't. I start melting after it hits like 70 degrees. I can't do it. I just coagulate. There's nope. I'll stay in the north.
So real quick, what was the animal again that you said the cougar killed? It was a moose, or what was it?
It was a donkey.
Oh,
It
it was a
was
donkey.
a
What?
yeah. Yeah.
So are those in the wild out there, or?
No, it's like it's kind of right next to a farm. So the first time I was out there, like thinking, maybe the cougars could attack me, but I was like, nah, they're probably not even around here. And then I was like, wait a second, yeah, like 200 feet over there, these two young donkeys got to watch their mama donkey get killed, and so I'm like, fuck, there's a proven kill right here, and donkeys are way bigger than me. But
So confirmed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. I mean, if I gotta go, I that's a good way to go.
At least it'll be a story, right? You'll be remembered.
Yeah, yeah. So if I'm ever late for work, just that's it. I might be late, but I might be eaten.
I'd rather get killed by a donkey. I mean, not a donkey. I'd rather get killed by an animal than a human, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be a noble, a good, righteous death if I had to go out.
I just want to say thanks for letting me come up. I was listening to all the stories, and I find it interesting because I've lived on three different continents, you could say. I'm a South African born Australian living in Canada. And I've had my fair shares of running with several different animals. When I was younger, I used to do a lot of bodyboarding in South Africa. I'm from Durban, and I've had like one story where I was out with a friend. We were just like waiting mid session, waiting for the sets to come in. And then he was out further than I was, and then I saw him catching a wave. So I like started paddling towards him, duck dive under him, and then boom, duck dive into the back of a shark.
Yep, I knew the story was going towards a shark as soon as you said water.
Yeah,
I was already terrified.
I mean I didn't see it because we were like in like 3 meter deep water, and then I was just like, because I just generally when I was out with friends, I try to duck dive under them, so I didn't break the wave or anything like that for them. And yeah, I didn't even make it half a meter. I went like, yeah, like maybe say half a meter down. I just hit the back of something, and I just felt this dorsal fin go from under me, just like boom, 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 straight out from under me. Off it went. My friend's eyes were just like lit up big. We just looked at each other. We're like, yeah, I think it's time to get out.
Oh, that sounds scary.
And then like, yeah, and then obviously living in Australia, you wouldn't like Australia then because it's like the humidity the same. Brisbane is just hot and humid. You got all the nice. If you go up a bit north, you got all the nice looking waters and lakes. But the same thing, you got crocodiles, so you can't even like jump in there and cool off.
I do hear that everything in Australia could kill you.
Yeah, especially on the coastline as well. You got besides the saltwater crocodiles, the sharks, which are I think they're tiger sharks and bull sharks. You've also got the box jellyfish, which is not a
You
pleasant.
just inspired you just inspired me to do one of the activities that I used to do when I was 13 years old. And that would be
What's that?
go on Google and type saltwater crocodile versus shark in Australia
Yeah.
and watch the showdown go down.
Wasn't that a show? Like it was two predators, and they'd always like put them against each other, and then you didn't know which one was gonna win, like hippo versus crocodile.
Yeah, but they never actually fought. They would be like the scientific breakdown where they
Yeah,
would take the teeth and measure it and then compare it to the other one. It's like, oh, this one's teeth are longer, but this one's claws are thinner.
yeah,
Um,
and the biting pound per inch or whatever. Yeah, I think I used to watch something similar to that.
what do you? I forget what that show is called.
I don't know. I think it's a couple of years ago. I think I've seen something like that. I'm normally interested in ones like a silverback gorilla versus like a tiger, or like I just find things like that actually quite interesting.
So, who do
Yep.
you think would win, the silverback or the gorilla or the tiger?
I don't know. I think if the tiger got the surprise on the silverback, I think the tiger probably could because it's obviously got the claws and teeth. But I think if they were like head on, I mean, silverbacks are quite strong.
Yeah. Yep. They're very thick too. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, they're and they have a pretty good reach. I would say their reach might be a little better than the tiger.
I normally have a discussion with one of my brother-in-laws. He goes tiger, I go silverback.
Yeah, I would definitely say silverback will probably beat almost anything if it was just like straight up.
But they're also intelligent enough that they could use weapons as well. I guess like they could just pick up a stick or.
Yeah, totally.
And then I guess the third thing is, well, obviously living in Canada, I was here a couple of years ago on like a working visa, and then I had a run in with a grizzly bear on a hike out of
Was it hungry or with its cubs?
No, I got very lucky. He did not care about me at all. He just wanted the path. It was out in Alberta near Canmore. It's the video actually went on YouTube and like it went crazy. I didn't understand why, but I mean,
Wait, you're talking about the boss?
I wasn't the boss. I've seen the boss before. It was just another bear. I don't know what number it was. I couldn't really see his tag. But I mean, it became a big thing. Like there was, we made it on the news. There was like the
Yeah.
whole social thing going around about us.
I was just watching last night a video from Jason Leo Bantle, and so it was him on the news talking about when Boss came to Canmore.
Yeah. They reckon he's getting up there in age, so he's starting to spread out to look for easier food.
That makes sense. Yeah, so I go to Canmore sometimes. My family's like a fractional up there, so I've been going there for like 20 years.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm at my wife and I here at the moment. We came back to Canada. We just loved it that much. But yeah, our video was on then you would know East End of Rundle.
Oh yeah, sweet. You did the hike?
Yeah, we did. We started the hike, and then like 20 minutes into it, because the trail like traverses, it goes straight for a bit and then starts traversing up a bit. And then just as we started going up, like I stopped to catch my breath and I just looked up because I saw movement, and yeah, it was just a nice big fat grizzly coming down.
Wow, that's crazy. I haven't had that happen yet. I wonder how I'll react. Sorry, I'll react when that happens.
Yeah, I didn't. I think because my expectation was in Canada, if you go on a hike, you see a bear. That kind of was my expectation. So I guess I wasn't it didn't catch me off guard. Or like I wasn't like shocked. But yeah, it was, he didn't care about us at all. He just wanted the path. So we got quite lucky because he was like following us down the path and then he just stopped and walked around. I mean,
That's crazy.
I'll try to see if I can like message the YouTube link. I mean, if anyone's interested in watching it.
Yeah, I am totally.
Because I mean, here in Canada, it made kind of a big thing. But I mean, we didn't think much of it at the time.
Yeah, I mean, even if you make it a post, you could always comment it here in the comments for this space. So now that we have successfully lured you in with our wildlife talk, have you ever been on Decentraland?
So yeah, have I ever been on there?
Oh, what's up? Did you said yeah? You have?
Oh no, I cut out. I didn't quite hear what you said.
Oh, have you ever been on Decentraland?
I know I have not.
Ooh, we might have a new friend, Vanessa. Go ahead, Vanessa. Sorry, I saw you on mic.
Oh, I was gonna say you must join us because in the build where we're standing right now, we meet in world. In the basement of that, there's an art gallery by a friend of ours called Janko, who does photography for I think National Geographic and Discovery Channel, but his specialty is sharks. And so he has a ton of pictures of swimming with sharks, but also has a really good one of a crocodile. And if I remember correctly, he was like, that picture was the closest he's ever come to like being done with with this journey. So yeah, if you are around and jump in, there's some pretty cool photography. I think there's a hippo, if I remember correctly, down here too. No, a manatee. But he's got amazing and lots of stories about sharks.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was just listening. I was just enjoying you guys talk, especially like when you were saying with the cougar.
Oh yeah. We usually start our space, just kind of chit chat, figure
Yeah,
out, see how
that's nice.
everybody's
It makes
week
it
has
more.
been, and then get to the nitty gritty, the dirt of the metaverse and the Yeah, good current issues. It looks like right now the emote wheel, you guys, is being funky, and I don't know if it's my land. I also had some other issues with land today, so if anybody's having problems emoting, let me know.
I seem to be emoting just fine.
Are you emoting hitting the wheel or hitting the B and a number?
Oh, B in the number. What wheel are you referring to? If there is a wheel.
Like if
Or
you
I
hit
mean, or I
B.
mean, I mean, like I hit B and then like on the wheel, like click on like the number.
Oh, you don't hit like B and the actual number on your keyboard?
No.
Whoa. Maybe they changed it. I don't know. Maybe they pushed the
Okay,
update.
so I am notice a little like funkiness to it. It's almost like you have to double click the number in order for it to work. So like you pull
Hmm.
up the wheel and then double click number.
Yeah, I don't know. Vitsky was here and he was looking at a different issue, and so we'll see if it's related.
Us and our issues, we can never be 100% content. But okay. What important, significant historical events happened this past week? I do know that there was a town hall that I missed completely. Anything interesting like from there that you can think off the top of your mind, Vanessa or Mish?
It was pretty much just a real, I would say, brief update because, as you know, that we don't have a lot of information to share from the council as of yet. Um, we're just getting going, but I can let you know a little bit for those that weren't there. We also talked about just how uh, a lot of people in the comments thought maybe we should have more frequent town halls right now during this period of transition, which would be, I think, a really good idea. So let's see. Here we go. So just kind of, yeah. I'm also hesitant to make this like the second town hall. I want to make sure that there's a good definition or differentiation between the CBD space and then the town halls. So I don't know if that makes sense. We'll just, yeah, I'll keep going. Okay, so to recap the Dow Council, we had our first meeting on the 10th of February. All Dow Council members were present. We established a communication platform for members of the Dow Council. We introduced the Dow Council members, shared our vision, presented individuals' KYC, and established a draft of the Dow Council Charter. We talked about the roles in the council charter, the formation of the executive branch, governance processes and decision-making structure, communication, and community engagement. And then the next steps are to schedule a council alignment meeting. Again, the council is going to meet weekly, at the least. Next steps also elect an executive director and collaborate on the new executive director on a Dow executive branch plan. So my thought is that the next, um, yeah, I'm not sure what to call it. If it's a Dow town hall or if we come up with a different kind of label on that. But I'd like to meet in another, not this Thursday, but the Thursday after, and just hold that period of time for people to come in and, um, touch base. Me, like, I'm going to be there. I can't speak for other council members. I also want to try to find a time of the day that is going to work the best for everybody on the global scale. It was midnight for Metariuk to come to that last meeting. I don't want to keep having them at the same time where, a specific region of the world is just really inconvenienced to get there. So one idea was to have it, not every other week, but like bi-monthly, and have the first one, in the US time, like maybe early in the morning US time. The second one, 2 weeks later, it's late in the day US time. The other option is to have two meetings, one on the same day. One might be at 8 o'clock in the morning US time, one might be at 8 o'clock at night US time, so that there's two different meetings that people can access. So I'm not sure. I don't know what the best way to do, to roll this out is. I just really want to make sure that we're not inconveniencing people. When I tried to look at the UTC time, like to see what would be the best time, it's like a pain in the butt. I'm like, okay, if this time would work great for me, it would work great for, people in Europe, but really bad for people in Asia. So, um, yeah, I don't know. It's actually a challenge. I'm like, how do we get over that one? Um, yeah, so like in my mind, I so there's two forms of communication. There's expressive and receptive. Expressive language is me talking to you right here. I also want to like create an avenue for receptive communication where you, the people, are coming and giving me feedback, giving us feedback. So it's not just stand and deliver, I'm disseminating information to you. I think that it's important for people to have feedback, um, and be able to present their ideas, present, um, yeah, voice their opinions, voice their feedback, and I can take that back to the council. I think a lot of it is also going to change because I'm then thinking, okay, what happens then when the executive director is hired? Are they going to attend? So there's a lot of unknowns. But I think for the near future, I think more communication is better. And that was a long monologue. I'll stop talking and give you a chance to respond, and I'll take a sip of coffee.
Yep. Any deep, profound questions, Mies?
I do not, unfortunately. I'm just going on a walk.
uh, no, I mean definitely a good idea to to like be able to host more, I guess more events frequently or more meetings frequently. And yeah, like as far as like the team goes, like yeah, that is a very tough one to try to find a time zone where everyone can meet. Um sometimes sometimes I wonder, like, usually I'm like the type that's like, why not have it in both time zones or two different time zones? But like with stuff like this, I wonder if kind of separating the time would dilute the information between the two. And go ahead, Ganesh. I saw you.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm worried about too. Is like, you're going to get completely different feedback at if you had two different meetings. Let's just say 12 hours apart, you would have very different, topics. But maybe that would be good. Maybe that would be productive. Maybe it would be redundant if we did that. So I'm not sure. I really, it's, I guess, like maybe just in this new role, like communicating with a team that we have to be there, that it really is an inconvenience to have the different time zones. Like I think maybe we don't even realize how much it takes for our friends that are in India, Dubai, Singapore to get to our parties. I mean, um that's a huge barrier. And then also for friends in the European time zone, because there were a couple times that worked great, and then I was like, oh, that's 3 o'clock in the morning in Europe. So yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, you could do a pre-recorded meeting, but then people would lose, or like, you could record it, they could look back on it. Um, Also, like just having a written forum. So that to me is kind of like the bigger picture of what I'm trying to figure out right now. Um, I think I will be the person who will be the most available, and being voted in with the idea that I'm representing the community. That's something that I absolutely embrace, and I think that that's good. So I want to be available. Maybe it's even office hours where it's, and I hate that. Like maybe because I was going to say maybe it's not a formal meeting like a downtown hall, but I think anytime you break away from that, it's like then you don't want a message to get lost because, oh well, that was just informal office hours. Um, yeah, so I think bi-monthly, like 2 times a month, for the next duration would be a good idea. But totally open to feedback if anybody has other ways to explore this time. And I felt
I'm,
a lot back into Decentraland. Somehow I got bumped out. It's being really weird today. My scene is.
I'm even thinking if I don't know if this would be something that the council would be doing, but let's say it's something creative going on, there being groups of individuals from the DAO or whatever team is working, actively working within the DAO Discord, getting feedback, allowing people to come in if it's an open project, of course.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I think I mean, I would be about that. I mean, there's like in the CBD channel or a CBD thread, people are just chilling all day. I can't speak on behalf of anybody at the DAO other than myself. I'm yeah, I could go plop down in the DAO Discord and just hang out. But also, I want to make sure that we're not just like I don't want to just be there if there's not news to like for a little bit of this. It's just going to take some time to get momentum going, and then once things are moving, I want to see them move without waste. Like I don't want to, I'm not saying fast, but I want to be very efficient in what we see done, because we've been waiting a long time for this. So I think all of those things are important, and I think we've got a lot of really smart minds in this community, and people have great ideas, and I think just in the future it's going to take those ideas, making stuff happen. Like yesterday there was a really cool play testing over at Angzar. I just happened to see the notification pop up on my Discord, and so I hopped in, and it was a really fun game. It's kind of like Rocket League, pretty much. I think that's the closest thing I'd compare it to. Rocket League, kind of like soccer, but it was really neat because the team, Mies, Lastrom, others were there, and they were just getting like feedback, like active, real-time feedback on what they could do to improve it. So I feel like that kind of approach of just like working in the open, and like nobody came expecting things to just work perfectly. Like it just it's just came and had fun, and it was really fun, like really entertaining. And so I think that's like a really healthy approach, I think, for builders to have in Decentraland just at this time. Like open up, and yeah, I don't know if Misa wants to come up and talk about it at all, but then they also had a feedback form where people could leave their feedback. So I left you guys a bunch of feedback last night. I'm sorry, Mies. I was like, yeah, we could do this and we could do this. Yeah, so I think with the DAO having that kind of open feedback where people can put their advice in, I think that's really a good idea. Like open communication. Mies, did I overload your threads?
No. Oh, thank you so much. So I was just taking a break. Yeah. So first off, I just want to thank everyone who came out yesterday, and it was just like last minute. We were, Lastrom, myself, and Rustan. For about a week, we kind of been working on a game, and so we Rustan created some new assets, which are some beautiful, beautiful big balls, I would call them. And sorry, that was a joke. I guess no one, no one thought that was funny.
No, that was good. That was good.
After the Elon Musk thing, I don't know. So yeah, we have these giant balls in there. We've got a small arena. We have some amazing views in there. So we're testing out some of the new viewing angles, the camera angles that you can use to view like different scenes and stuff. So we have like an overhead. Right now we're testing like 7 different camera angles. So like anyone can go spectate a game while it's going on, and you can go out there. You can have like a top-down view. You can have like behind goal view. There's all different types of views out there. In addition to that, we also have like some stands that you could go up these elevators to if you just want to spectate as well, like in person, and have your avatar up there and all that kind of stuff. And it's almost like, I'm going to use user words here, or people's words, the community's words here. People were calling it similar to like Quidditch. It's like kind of similar to watching a Quidditch match, as far as like the feeling of how high up you are, kind of looking down while you're spectating for these games. And so the name of the game is called Angzar Blitz, and it's just it's still in the works a little bit, but it's been super fun for myself and everyone else I think who's played so far. And there's so many there's different ball types that if you score with them, then there's different detrimental effects that happen to the other team that kind of give you an advantage. There's also random power-ups that are like positives that appear in the stadium as well, or in the arena, and so you could go grab those. And so there's really we're just kind of getting started, and we would love people's feedback, especially on different ball types, or maybe different power-ups that we missed, or different game mechanics, and just things you like or don't like. And so we would love to hear your feedback on this. This isn't any paid projects or DAO projects or anything like that. So we can do whatever we want. We're not really limited by anything, which is super cool. So we'd love to hear all of your all's expert advice, creativity, and different views from your walks of life. So thank you.
Yeah, I definitely think it's like if Rocket League and Quidditch had a baby, it would be Angzar Blitz. And there's also, we started a in-world builder channel within the CBD Discord, because I know sometimes it's just like when you're getting started building, at least for me, I can only speak for me, but I had to text Rustan. I was like, what is the link that I use to go? And he's, sends it to me again. So I think that that's a really good spot. If people are going to start building an in-world builder, there's links to all the assets that you're going to need to get started. And then like a direct link to you guys if you get stuck and have questions. And, I think like Rustan said, build a house first, or just like build something. I think it's good to build that muscle memory, and then after that you can get crazy with the programming or whatever else. I'm still building my house, so I haven't evolved up from there. But I think it's helpful for me to have like a place I know all those links like live.
Yes, and so thank you all so much for giving us that channel for Enrolled Builder within your Discord, within the CBD Discord. Everyone, what we have in there, like Nessa said, is we have tons and tons of useful links there about Enrolled Builder. Getting started may seem overwhelming, or you just might, I don't know, think it may take too long or something else. But I can assure you that we've got people here to help you out, some amazing guides as well. And I mean, really, for myself, that's how I build things myself. I'm not a coder, I'm not a 3D modeler, and I've built out a lot of different scenes without actually ever needing to do that. And I find Builder to be a lot more efficient for building versus building on the web builder. I'm just, for some reason, never been a fan for the last couple of years, 3 years. And so another cool thing is within World Builder is you can build with multiple people at the same time. So the other day, we had Rustan, myself, and Lashman. We were all building at the exact same time, and that's how we built out, like this arena and some of these other things. So just if you're interested, please feel free to reach out to myself or Lashman. Check out the channel for World Builder within the CBD Discord, and we would be glad to help you out. Oh, one more thing. So there's also, for any builders in general for Decentraland, in there for the Enroll Builder, for those links within the Discord channel and CBD, is a website that we created. And the website is actually for our assets. So you can go there and you can preview every single asset that is in the Enroll Builder, which is like 6,000 something assets between audio, 3D, and some other smart assets. And you can individually preview them, download them, and all that kind of stuff as well. And if you want to download them from our GitHub, we also have our GitHub links in there. Just mass download them if you'd like to use them for whatever reason, or projects as well. So just wanted to mention that. And there's tons of cool stuff to build with. We built the arena that we were just mentioning in Angzar Plaza with assets that were from our in-world builder game creator. So I just want to say that they're beautiful, they're amazing. There's tons of cool stuff. There's some high resolution stuff if you're building the Decentraland DCL worlds, and we'd love to see you building and using in-world builder. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, Mies. I think it's a real big benefit to have different ways of building because we're all gonna learn differently, and we're all gonna have like different levels of success depending on what we try. I know I love 3D modeling, but I cannot I try to learn coding, but I just kind of realize that's always going to be a challenge for me. So to have another option where I don't have to learn lengthy coding to get some really cool effects in my build, I think that it's nice to have like that option. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, totally. And so you're an educator, right? Is that correct? Right?
Oh,
And so people have different learning, or some people have different ways of learning or doing things, right? So you've got people that are maybe more visual, people that are audio, and all that kind of stuff. And I feel like building can be the same way. And so that's why I love that there are, just like you had said, there's multiple options to build with.
Yeah, and I think that that's what we need because I know we've, through the DAO, we've paid for multiple different tools that package up building and put it in a different format. We've had DCL Edit, we've had VLM, we've had In-World Builder, and then we have the traditional, foundation created SDK tools. But I think that I think it's good to have different approaches, and I think actually like it's kind of on us to understand them a little bit to explain it to the next person so that if you have a new user, like I know there's somebody here, new in the crowd who wanted to put a build on their land, and like for me, I think it's important to be able to explain to them like, hey, yeah, personally I use Blender, I put it into the builder, boom, it has worked so far. But they might not learn that way. Like Blender is also a whole different that's a whole different thing you've got to learn. That's pretty complicated. And so finding the tools that's going to help the next generation of users come in, like we kind of, I don't know, like in my own opinion, like I kind of need to know a little bit of everything so that I can direct them in the right way because um, building can be super fun and it can be super frustrating, like where you just like literally want to throw your computer across the room because one little thing doesn't work. So yeah, it's at least for myself, like I'm gonna try to learn every different way I can, which I think right now is in World Builder and the SDK. So um, super glad to have you guys here. And if anybody else has projects or resources that they also want to do the same thing, like add it to the CBD thread or like create a channel, please, yeah, hit us up because we should not just centralize that information, but if we can make it easier for new users to find that. Actually, like, yeah, not to put any money on the spot, but it is interesting. I would love to know uh, if you're a new user in the Twitter space, or just anybody. I'd love to pick your brain. Like, what were the speed bumps? Like, what were the brick walls? Like, a speed bump slows you down, but the brick wall just stops you. Like, I think we I think it'd be a good idea to keep getting that feedback from people, find out what we can do to make building here easier. Like you, Sin, how is your build coming along, my friend?
Derek hasn't started it on it yet. But I do have a Josh and Ann on the job for a Beyond the NFT 3-year emote, 3-year anniversary emote.
So I just realized like this is what we should do is have you learn how to build and then you can tell us all the pain points.
Okay, pain point number 1. Starting.
Okay, I like to ask why 5 times. Why is that difficult?
Oh God, if it's a chain of 5 whys, this is gonna
Just
get
work with me.
complicated.
It's a process. It's a process. It's a thing. Just ask why 5 times. Why is it hard to get started?
It looks scary
Why does it look scary?
because all my friends complain that it's scary.
Why do your friends complain that it's scary?
That's not a question to ask me.
Well, come up with something. Why do you think your friends complain that it's well, who complains that it's scary? We don't complain it's scary. We complain that we're
Okay, y-
doesn't that it
you
doesn't
you're right. You're right. You don't
okay.
complain that it's scary. You complain that it's breaking every week
Okay. Why do your friends
because the
I feel very
foundation
I
updates
feel
every
very
Thursday.
okay, wait, what?
Because the foundation updates every Thursday.
Okay. Why does the foundation update every Thursday?
Because they hate us and they want to break the
Oh
platform.
no, 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 no. That you don't get that answer.
uh, because they have not thought about the benefits and what are positives of deploying an update on a Monday.
Okay, so you don't build in Decentraland because Foundation doesn't deploy on a Monday?
No, I don't build on Decentraland because my build would be broken by the next week.
No, 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 no. Nope, this is a life intervention, my friend. This is you got to get in there. You got to get your little
Uh,
paws.
I'm over here playing the blame game, like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
Decentraland, man.
I mean, I'm not saying it's not, but let's get you to the point where you can be like, you know what, Blender sucks because it's not always Decentraland. Sometimes Blender sucks. Sometimes it's
You're right.
something.
You're right. You're right. I mean, Blender does look scary. Um, I have a full-time job now, so like I literally feel like I get home, blink twice, and it's already 10 p.m. Um,
Yep.
I heard that one. You felt that one there, Canessa.
I
I heard the
I
yeah.
did. I mean, there's that. That's a whole different. That's a whole time is. It doesn't matter if you have $1 million or $5. You still get 24 hours in a day to make your to do stuff. So I totally get that. I think it would be really cool to. I bet we'd learn a lot by having you just learn to build or just try to build. Um, I think actually I would love to just put that as a challenge. Like everybody in foundation deploy a scene, build the coolest scene you can because I just think you can learn a lot by deploying a scene and like you put true trees on it and you hit your triangle max. Sorry, maybe I'm just not letting shit go from 5 years ago and I'm like I learned about triangles for the first time.
Oh, the two tree 10,000 triangle max classic. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I could deploy something. I could satisfy this challenge by posting my super secret 2020 uh scene that I build. If I can look back at any feedback that I've gotten in the past, feedback from Fancy, who let sin into the builder? Um, let's see. I think I forget who said this other comment, but they said, "What the fuck?" Um,
I think that was me. No,
oh,
I was
okay.
like, good job. Keep up the hard work. Definitely was like room for improvement. I'm a teacher. I would like insult you really kindly. Like you have so
Mhm.
much room to grow.
So much room to grow. Wow, such potential.
Yes. Yes.
Oh God. Oh, okay. I think what would really make for a good start for me is to at least have a playlist of like videos or whatever of like the just the raw basics of downloading the whatevers and into the whatevers and getting set up with the whatevers and then from there I think the questions would come.
Okay,
The
so
curiosity would.
can we the people get you to commit to a future within the next month beyond the NFT where we watch you brave the world of building?
Lol, 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 lol. You're making this way too easy, Canessa, because I have Rustan coming on Beyond the NFT on Monday to show
Yeah,
me
but
in World Builder.
Rustan's
So,
not going to teach you anything. That guy's way, you know how many times he's like, no, just no.
hello? And in World Builder?
True, true. He might. So are you going to build in World Builder then?
I will, that will,
Hold
you
on,
didn't
never
say
mind.
how.
I'm not even gonna ask you. I'm just gonna go right to Rustan and be like, we got him. We got him. Like, you don't even have to know what you're gonna do.
Well, it's up to Rustan to show up on Monday.
Yep. I think this is how we get progress. We just force it.
I just have to do it on Beyond the NFT.
Yep.
Can you imagine what good content we could create from like getting like different coders or builders like on Beyond the NFT to like I guess oversee my building and then they're just like no don't do that, damn it, sinful. You just
Well,
feeling like
there's
so.
a there's a good, like, in the teaching world, there's like this kind of idea that, like, if you're good at math, you should not be teaching people math, like people who struggle. Like, I'm really bad at math, so I'm a great math teacher because I can be like, guys, this makes no sense, it's stupid, yes, you're never going to use it, but here's how you do this quadratic equation. You pretend these little a's are apples and the b's are bananas, and a's and apples and bananas can never be the same thing, right? So, like, of course 1b plus 2a does not equal 3. So, like, you should, it would be hard maybe in some ways to learn from really good builders. You might want to learn from somebody that's like, hey, I just trying to make, just trying to survive, man. Like, sometimes the tutorials, that's why they do the donut tutorial, is like notoriously, like, it's just, don't do it. Like, don't do it as a new builder. Do it as like an experienced builder, but don't do it as a new builder. But I think you need to learn how to build because you could probably help so many new people, um, if you did it. If you just got past your, like, if you think you're not artistic or think you don't have ideas, that's exactly why you should do it. Because we want people in Decentraland that are, aren't necessarily artists. We want, like, other types of people.
Hmm. What I hear out of that is I will never be able to build my vision, and if I had someone else to build it for me, it would be very expensive.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I don't know, bro.
I'm putting the heat on you because how can we expect people to build if we don't build ourselves?
Mm. I'm gonna have to quit my full-time job. Anyone have full-time degen jobs where I could build and survive?
Well, there are some contests coming up through Decentraland that have cash prizes, so you could get really good at building in, um, well, in like 8 days. and you could win this prize. I think you just have to have the idea in 8 days. So has everybody seen the latest or like the pin tweet for Fashion Week? Because there's 3 different areas that you can put your name in the hat. I'll talk about the first one later, but the second one is design a 3D experience that celebrates infinite identities in virtual fashion. So this one is the theme is digital fashion redefining self-expression and avatars as living, breathing works of art. But I think it's actually the third one I'm looking for. I'm reading this, so yeah. Because there's one that's building. It's a build competition. It must be this one. Design a 3D experience. So it must be that where you're building a scene. Is that right? Oh, let me click on this link.
And just want to welcome a few of you. I see Luna down there in the crowd. Kronos, Dr. Drip, welcome. Thank you for being here. What's up, Alpha? Steve Sai, old guy.
Okay, Sin, here you go. For this one, you are creating a 2x2 plot of land for the duration of the event for your build. And it's a $2,000 reward in mana for your experience.
All right, that would solve for the next month. That would pay bills for the next month. Then I would have a month leeway to to figure out the next 2K. Okay.
So this one, if you look at the 3 different areas, this one is you're creating a build, not a wearable. Because it's this part, I was like, wait, is it kind of it was kind of confusing. But then the third aspect of the competition is a wearable that inspired by the culture, fashion, or folklore of your own geographic heritage or current physical home. So I could have like a cougar hunting or like a cougar proof like vest because that might reflect my geographic heritage. And then you guys from Florida, y'all can get like one of them snake.
Gator shoes or gator
Oh, good gosh. Yes.
a belt
Oh
from
my
the
gosh.
gator skin.
Yeah.
And I was thinking for yours it could be like the cougar pelt. You could wear
I know. But I wouldn't want to hurt it. I wouldn't really want to hurt a cougar. I could, yeah. I don't know how I'd do that. Maybe a can of bear mace. That would reflect my geographic heritage.
a
Definitely.
snowmobile.
A snowmobile. Yeah, they won't let me do that. Maybe an emote though. Snowmobile emote. Oh my gosh. Ooh, motocross.
Hmm.
Hmm. What you thinking, Mies?
Oh, I don't know. I was trying to think of like hiking poles or like the ones for like skiing. I was trying to
Yeah,
think of like how those could be used for something interesting, but the snowmobile's way better for sure.
yeah. Actually, the first thing that came to my mind for like geographic, it's horrible, but like sandals with socks. Because in Seattle in the 90s, that's like everybody was wearing Birkenstocks with socks. And it's so hideous. But that is
You
definitely a Northwestern thing or a
you don't
Starbucks
know
thing.
how hard I just like face palmed.
Or puffy jackets. That's like you got to have a puffy jacket to fit in the Northwest. So it'll be interesting to see what people create for that one.
I would never fit in. I don't own a puffy vest. It's on my list one day.
Yep. Don't own a puffy vest
Oh my
nor
gosh. You guys, I have like multiple different colors to fit in. I have to fit in like if you don't have a puffy jacket, like good luck being cool. Like
So you wear like puffy jackets with your sandals and socks?
I mean, I don't, but ah, the soccer moms in the pickup line do. I don't fit in. I'm just like, I'm not gonna fit in with you guys. So, but no, it's the range of colors is staggering. No, it'll be interesting. Like, what would you do for Florida? What would you do for New York? What would you do for
What
Washington?
clothing? You're talking about clothing that identifies like with the
Yeah,
region?
yeah.
Oh, well, so we have these things. It depends on which part of Florida, but we have these boots. I don't know if anyone knows our governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis. So, after we had some of our hurricanes, he went out to like the disaster areas and so, like while it's still like flooded and stuff. And so when he did that, he wore boots and he wore these white like rubber boots. And so I would say that as far as like the tiny towns of Florida in the middle of like nowhere and other stuff that most people never travel to, that those like represent the like hardcore old Florida, those white white rubber boots.
Oh my gosh, you have not saying you have to publish those, but that would be
I'll see.
so
Yeah, let me find them. I've got some snake
yeah.
boots that are camo, but yeah, let me find these white ones.
That would be so tongue in cheek where oh, you could get really like
It's a thing. I'm serious. In
fun.
certain areas of Florida, like there's just tons of people. Everyone has them. They have these white boots. Like it's just they use them in their yard and stuff. And like when they go out certain
Yeah.
things, like they just yeah.
Yeah, yeah, my dad has like two pairs in the garage of these things. I just looked it up and of course it was like the quickest Google search. I just said Ron DeSantis boots and yeah, there they are. He's like, oh my God. So you would bring the white hazmat boots.
I mean, dude, that's Florida, dude. Florida floods all the time. It's there's always a disaster going on, and they're used in everyday stuff too. If you're going through swamps or marshes or whatever. I mean, probably not. I mean, it depends on what parts of the swamps, but you might just take other shoes because they would just fill up in the swamps. But yeah, I mean, for marshes and stuff, for sure.
Oh my gosh, this is too funny because like we could do a whole like a game, like a fashion show. Like you walk out and you're like, what state does this represent? And you guys would get it, like you'd know, but the rest of us would be like, what? Oh,
It
I have
it
to, yeah.
it would be it could be something that even expands like far beyond just what state is this. It's like what region is this from or what of the world or
Okay, I'm chat GPTing. Chat GPTing. I said, what clothing represents the Pacific Northwest? Oh, guys, I feel so called out. Flannel shirts, waterproof jackets, fleece, hiking boots, beanies, denim, graphic hoodies, thrifted and vintage clothing, brands like Patagonia, REI, Filson. Oh, guys.
Now pick South
Yeah.
Florida, change it to South
Okay. All
Florida,
right.
and let's get an answer.
I,
What clothing represents South
Now I'm
Florida?
wondering if it's gonna be like, oh, that's just Miami, like Fort Lauderdale. We'll see what this thing
I
says.
Oh my
yeah,
gosh, staying cool, looking stylish, and embracing the tropical lifestyle. Key elements:
yeah.
light, breathable fabrics, linen and cotton, flowy dresses, shorts, tank tops, Gaia Barras, a classic
Like,
Cuban style button up shirt, neon pastels, floral, white and light neutrals, swimwear and cover up,
Don't
Panama
forget about
hat,
Crocs.
designer
said Crocs.
sunglasses.
I was wondering which
Guys,
state would get Crocs. Yeah.
I don't know who can like represent Crocs without getting a little laughed at, even though I do have Crocs.
All right. Well, we got Jimmy Buffett, I guess. What
Yeah,
did he
you
make?
do.
Did he make anything interesting? Let's as far as clothing that was like no, like I'm trying to think like fashion that was really popular with his fans. I'm trying to think of what it was. It was
Wow.
maybe
Yeah,
something
like
Jimmy
a
Buffett. Maybe something from Jimmy Buffett would be like,
yeah,
in Florida.
I think so.
We have all these Margaritavilles all over the state now.
Oh, that yeah. I mean, I would be down with anything Jimmy Buffett because the cantina, like some of that. I went to a Jimmy Buffett restaurant last summer, and I was like, this is a lot of the vibe that I'm looking for, like the, just beach vibe. But coming from the north, everything that is warm is like beach vibes. So I'm not cultured.
Yeah, I
Let's
guess the
see
Hawaiian
what.
shirts, it was the Hawaiian shirts, and there's something else. I'm trying to think what the other stuff was. One of my friends was like so hardcore, went to all the concerts.
That's cool. Okay, I looked up New York because I see some New York folks in here. Diverse, stylish, and practical. Fast-paced city life. Because I get like New York is going to be like high fashion, but what else? Chic and minimalist, all black everything. Oh my gosh. Tailored, structured pieces, stylish footwear, Doc Martens and combat boots, layering, designer labels, sneakers, gold chains, hoop earrings, handbags.
You're
Hmm,
describing Miami here.
could be.
I mean,
What other
that
place?
does sound like Miami. LA? I don't know. What is LA like? What's
What clothing represents Los Angeles? Angeles. Okay. You don't have to see how I spelled that. Effortless, trendy, and diverse. Casual streetwear, bohemian vibes, and high end designer pieces. Graphic tees, oversized hoodies, baggy jeans, cargo pants, biker shorts, crop tops, leggings, white sneakers, tote bags, flowy dresses, crochet tops, western boots, and strappy sandals.
Western boots? That's right. That's right. They got the boots.
Oh,
Uh huh.
monochrome and sleek outfits, luxury sneakers and heels, statement accessories. The color palettes are neutral earth tones, pastels, bright colors. Interesting. Oh, and then it breaks it down by neighborhood. If you're from like Venice Beach, Santa Monica, it's more surfer inspired, laid back. Downtown LA, Melrose is edgy streetwear, vintage thrift finds. Malibu is relaxed and coastal. Beverly Hills, chic, designer focused, luxury driven. I'm like stoked actually after kind of like thinking about this more. That if done right, this could be really, really funny.
I mean, it could be. It's pretty wild, you know. Cross like just mix and matching some of those things in those categories.
Yeah, I mean, I take it for granted that like the fashion in the Northwest is maybe just very different than other places, but it definitely hit. I think when we went to Portugal, Mariana, before I even got on the plane, she was like, "OMG, the Europeans dress so nice. Like they're so much better dressed." And I'm like, "Oh gosh, like, well, good luck." I'm a soccer mom from the mountains. Like brought my best rabbit pelt, and so oh my gosh,
I
Best
mean,
rabbit belt.
yeah, it's my fancy one.
it still has the rabbit foot for good luck.
It does. I skinned it myself, guys, and on my trap line. Of course I fit in with European high fashion.
Yes, yes, but like, are they happy? Like, all that fashion must be uncomfortable. Now, wearing, a rabbit pelt belt or vest or whatever it was that you just mentioned, like that's comfortable. You're warm. You're definitely winning. Like you walk into any room and you've already won.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. So okay, so what if somebody made a build for Fashion Week that was like that could somehow capture this like these different feelings, the FEMA boots, the flannel, the trendy, I don't know what this is called, from Los Angeles. If somebody is brave enough to take this on, there's some fun stuff you could do.
The Crocs.
The Crocs, I think, if you made Crocs, I bet you'd have to change them a lot to get past like any kind of copyright stuff.
Probably, yeah.
Instead of
Mm,
Crocs, you can call them like Knox.
Gators.
gators. You can
Gators.
call them gators,
Yeah.
and they could be like kind of like gator molded, like at the front of where like your toes are. There's like gator mouth or whatever on the side. It's got the holes that regular Crocs have. We could do this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Be fun. Make a game. Where did this here style come from? I would love to know like Father Finn where cuz he's kind of fashion and well, I don't know where exactly he is, but like Alabama, Louisiana, like what would fashion be from those parts? Like, or is it different? Or is it just, I don't know, monoculture?
Snake skin, everything.
Okay, so the last part of these entrants, or the first one actually, it is important to see the difference. Let me get on it. So when Decentraland made the post, there's 3 different areas. It's actually the first one that comes up. The prize pool is $15,000, and this one is open just for students. So it is kind of cool because I think they're bringing in, um, they're bringing in like professionals in the industry, students. And I'm wrong. The grand prize is $10,000, and 2 runner-up prizes for $2,500. So for this one, it is open to students and emerging designers. So that is going to be really cool. I bet we're going to see some new people come in for this one. Like people in, let's see, students eligibility, recent graduates with a BA or MA within the last 3 years, and current students BA or MA in fashion design, textile design, fine art, interactive media, 3D design, game design, digital arts. And you can have a team maximum of 2 people per submission. So that is really cool. And I wonder if we're going to see more people coming into the Decentraland like Discord asking questions about how to publish wearables, or the same things that kind of the questions that come up when there's issues like that. So if you know anybody in the fashion industry, here you go.
I mean, I am an emerging engineer, and the price pool does seem enough for me to quit my job and learn to build, and it'll cover the bills for a few months. I'm kidding. That is awesome. That is an awesome effort to like bring in students and just outside builders. Um the hope I have with that one is that like some of these builders actually um you know gain some interest like beyond just like building for this competition and because they can win money. Like I would love to see them stick around and meet people and collaborate with others, learn. But we'll see. That's like my perfect world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think across the board, students probably are just as busy as or more. Like you were talking about having a job, and so I totally get why they've got to put their interest where they've got to pass their classes. But it would be really cool if we could figure out how to help them. Maybe it's giving them land to have a fashion show. Like if they come in and create this one piece, maybe they have other pieces of their portfolio. So
Mm,
maybe there's pre-made bills that they can just like put their portfolio, instead of being like 2D on a computer like a PowerPoint, could be an immersive build that people go in and walk in, and it's an episode of Beyond the NFT where they get to show you their online portfolio. How's that?
yeah, yeah. Like in a way, just like create continuing events for them to participate in. Like that is far that yeah, yeah, goes beyond just official Decentraland event, like try to like set up some different things for them to be a part of. Hmm,
Yeah. I
I think
mean,
that is the way.
I think also like if there's talent, if they're talented and they have the interest in like uh probably most students are kind of hungry and they want, they need money. So like what if there was a way of putting them on the almost like the studios, Decentraland Studios, where there's a registry for existing artists and creators. Like maybe they add themselves to that, or we create something new where you're like, hey, you're an emerging artist, you're new to Decentraland. I want a I want a pair of white FEMA boots, but I don't know how to model. Can you make this for me? And then maybe we just start hiring them and paying them, putting them to work. I bet. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm sure there'd be interest in that.
I'm sure too, but in a way, it's like also not. Nah, I don't know. Maybe from there, it's just getting more into like my personal way of how I operate and handle things. Like I do think like the opportunities are good, but like also not let it get like not provide too much of that where like it becomes an expectation. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like the only
Yeah, I think
reason
so.
I
I mean,
hang out
just
on
like,
Decentraland is because I know I can make $200 off making out of making a model for this schmuck.
yeah. I mean, I think that's just gonna be up to the individual. I was thinking just creating ways to provide value, like where it's not about money, but like if you're trying to break into this world, here's a list of, this is a list that you can get yourself onto and get in touch with people. And I think that like even if they do like it come and originally for money, I think that many people here in Decentraland, that's what got them here, but they stayed for some other reason. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay to put that out there. I also like just having different options. I want to support different creators, and different builders have their own unique style. Like we all know Doki creates really cool hair. Liz creates really cool hair. So you kind of have like the people you go to. Like if you want, certain wardrobe pieces, you're like, I got to go to that person because that's the expert in this thing. So I don't know. I guess I just see it as like it'd be cool to have more people who want to build here, even if they are doing it for the money. Like that's okay because maybe then they go to a party and they're like, I love parties. Wow, this is cool.
I do love parties. So, I mean, little bit to think about. Moving forward into the what was it, Fashion Week event, and how like as a group, how we could keep the excitement going for any new builders and users that come into the platform. Would love to continue the conversation and possibly like beyond this space maybe next week, whatever it may be, and get like even some more thoughts from other individuals that are listening in, and like we brainstorm some solutions.
Yeah, Raya has a good point. In world regarding what is said right now in spaces, a lot is possible with wearables and commissions, even with a rather small user base, but it ultimately comes down to the fee wall that is a hurdle for a lot of new creators coming in. Definitely. I mean, if I want to publish a wearable, I don't create my own wearables yet. I'd love to learn how, but like to do that, I have to pay somebody to make it for me. And, depending on who you pay, it can be anywhere from $100 to, I think my biggest one was almost $500. No, I it was $500. So like if you pay for that and then you have, that's not even the publishing fee, then you have to go pay for the publishing fee. It's, in my mind, I'm not doing it to create a profit. Like, I'm doing it because I want free wearables to give away on my land. So it, I think there definitely is an obstacle that you're probably going to lose money by creating stuff in Decentraland at the current stage. Like, if so I wish there was either a cheaper way to publish or a different option where for profit items are just dealt with different than like giveaway items. So where maybe each user is given, I don't know, 4 vouchers a year to like create a giveaway item, and you can't profit from it. You can't put it on the marketplace. You can only give it away. I don't know. Or the other option is reduce the publishing fee, but I think that one, the publishing fee is what pays the curators and pays the DAO. So I think, like, there's a recent proposal to reduce it to $20, but I think we got to look at like data of how much then do the curators get paid, how much is going back to the DAO, and like is a $20 curation fee going to be sustainable, in 5 years from now? So good questions. I mean, I don't have an answer.
Meow.
Like, I think it should be less, but if the, let's say that the user base was enough that I was selling 10% of like what I created, maybe it doesn't need to be less. Maybe that's enough. So it's like either we charge less or we get more people buying.
Yeah, when it comes down to it, it's more just the user base. Like a $25 submission fee will be more than suffice if we had thousands of submissions a day or hundreds.
Yeah, and then if it was a free publication and there were just tens of thousands of wearables, would yours get lost in the, like, would it just be so diluted
Mm-hmm.
that even if you have a cool wearable, then you might not even have sales because there's just so many options.
That, and I mean also from the curator's point of view, like, will the quality of the curation go down? Well, like, because like if there's no fee, they're curating these wearables for free.
Well, and I think we remember the time, like the amount of time you used to have to wait to get a wearable published. I think Rustan waited 2 months
Mm-hmm. Yep.
to get his original body paint approved because it just, I don't know how many curators they had, but there was like a wait limit, like a wait time where
Yep.
you'd publish way in advance because you knew you're just not going to get it approved very
Yep.
quick. And now it's, I mean, right away they've got somebody who's on it.
There were a lot of politics. Like back then, there were a lot of politics around all that. Like for example, like my meal bubble, for example. And I was mentioning to Raya, like I used to pay $500 to submit a wearable. The meal bubble that I'm currently wearing, that was a $500 submission fee, and we had to wait, or I waited 10 days for this wearable to get approved. And it didn't even get approved because I waited, and I was a good boy and I waited. Like, I remember that I had seen a wearable from a popular streamer get approved when they submitted the wearable like 3 days after I did, and then I started being all like, "What the fuck, mate?" And then all of a sudden, my wearable magically got approved, to save face probably, but yeah. Uh, so yeah, as much as like we could adjust things now, I also feel like, I mean, we have done a lot of growing in that aspect.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when wearable submission fees were $500 a piece, was it still the same 2.5% going back to the Dow? Where was their data? Were there data to back up that decision to change it? Like that's what I would want to see is like different or like different um oh, what's the word? But like different scenarios of like, all right, with a $100 submission fee over 10 years, if there's an average of, 20 wearables created a month, then this is how much the DAO would have. And then knowing like, okay, it will cost this much money to keep the Catalyst servers running. Therefore, we need to know how much, it opens a bigger picture. We need to know how much does it gonna take to keep the lights on, and then how much we can expect from wearable fees. How much are we making from land resale royalties? I mean, it's a bigger picture thing, but that I think is what we're missing, because it seems like we could do it for it seems like we could do it for less, but again, I need like a finance person to do that. Also, what about like just different ways of doing it where you could submit like to a scholarship fund or something? Like I would donate money if there was a like vetted um like reliable, I don't want to just like throw money away, but like if there was a reliable scholarship fund where it's like, hey, for people that need help, or like maybe people publishing their first wearable, um, like they will pay half of their submission fee. Or even, I mean, look at what Decentraland did for the music fest. They paid the submission fees for people to publish, and look at like how many things were published during that time. So I don't know.
Are you referring to was that for Music Fest, or was that something else like the wearable competition, exotic category thing?
Oh, it was right before Music Fest. Yeah, it was the exotic
Okay.
music, or exotic competition that was kind of like along the theme of Music Fest. So that's why I associated it. But yeah, it was before that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that definitely gave a little pop to our marketplace and stuff like that for sure. Saw some submissions from, people that you don't really see around too much. It was good. It was a good time.
Yeah, let's see. Help I'm Streaming says other places have this problem solved. I'm not sure why it's so hard for DCL. Um, but I would love to know like how, because I know they have it solved. Like Roblox takes 70% of your submission fee, but they
Of
or
your
70%
profits.
of your cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they have like, million. I mean, I know some people in the room next to me that are spending their money on Roblox today. Like they have a huge user base. So like we just don't have the numbers. So yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess that's the difference between having a like the money go back to the DAO that then in theory will pay for more projects.
yeah, it's kind of tougher when the user base is not there. I feel like any model could be adjusted to something that like works if just the people are there, the volume.
Yeah, I mean, I used to like cover my publication cost when I was making emotes. And so it was like that, I was happy with that. Like I just wanted to try to get that initial cost back. But if you're not even able to pay for that, then it makes it like a not as, I don't know, it's just not as exciting to publish if you're like, oh, I'm going to lose money. But I think it would also be really cool if like venues, like event places, had maybe every 3 months they got to publish a wearable and the fees would be just waived. Or maybe it's even, per person, or I don't know if that would even be a good idea. But for a while at least, to kind of like help supplement. But then I don't know, maybe it's not sustainable just to do it for a little while. Maybe it's like, that would just defeat the purpose. But I agree. I guess bottom line, I agree. It's for some people it's just not the $100, it's not doable. Other places of the world it's absolutely, it's not, it's just not doable.
I really do like that fund or scholarship, or that kind of idea of yeah, I mean, it could be used as like a way to kind of, I don't know how to kind of say, like, in order to get help, like hello person, I'm just gonna use CBD. CBD has this wearable scholarship, like, if you pop into our events and contribute, you might be eligible to publish a wearable, and we'll cover the fee or whatever, something like that. Add maybe like add tasks or missions, or yeah, things to do in order to uh be eligible.
Yeah, that reminds me of the, I want to say Face Moon, but it's not Face Moon. Oh gosh, what is it? The face grant
Oh, face
that
fashion.
face fashion. Yeah, I could see the face. I could see the map. I know where the parcel is. But they did that exact thing. I believe it was through a Dow grant. They had like a creator every month, or maybe it was every other month, but I think it was every month. They had an application process and you could apply. And I remember like CK Bubbles, they applied and they got it. And that was, I would say, probably like an, a pivotal part, or like a very specific, important part of them staying and like building in the space. Because then if you got nominated or chosen by Face Fashion, you got to work with Michi Todd and create a wearable. And then he also created a build for you, and there would be this party every month, and then the wearable release party. And that would be so awesome to bring back. I mean, that's a lot of energy to create a build every month and to, create a wearable every month. But I still remember Secret Bubbles build. Like that was so cool. There were bubbles going up and down, and yeah, I bet they might have stayed because of that. Maybe. But um I think there's a need, or like a definitely room for that kind of like campaign to have a home here.
I agree. I mean, in a way, that's like a little bit of the reason why I'm buying up land and stuff like that. Except my thoughts, and might take me a couple years to develop it and put it together, but yeah, I kind of want to do that, like a version of something like that. Get it, and yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't have to be all secretive about it, because I want people to do this, even if it's not me. Like, get a bunch of your creator friends, musician friends, pair them up with a Decentraland builder, and have the builder, collaborate with the performer, and build the performers, in a way, dream build, we can call it, or a build that represents them, and they can have a home on Decentraland. And then through that, kind of like, it's like, yeah, you can have this here on this land for as long as you like. We just want you to do 2 events a month at at this place, or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll see
yeah,
you in
that'd be
5 years
awesome.
when the wallet is fat, and we could actually talk about the concepts for real.
Well, I mean, I think everybody knows it, but I'll just say it again. If anybody needs land to build on, there's that. That is should not be a problem. I have land. You have land. Angzar has free land. Like, definitely, everybody should know that they can access land. Or like, please tell your friends, tell your aunties and your grandmas and Uncle Joe.
Oh, that reminds
So
me.
that part, at least, we got figured
That
out.
reminds me, Canessa. I need land.
I know you should get some more.
Oh, you're not even gonna say like, here, you could use some of mine. No.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. How much do you need?
Okay, whatever. It doesn't feel as special anymore since it wasn't the initial response.
Oh no! Oh no!
uh,
Yeah. So they're talking in World about how some people want to watch DCL burn, and yeah, sadly, like, I mean, everybody had a different experience going into the last bull run, but I think there's people that have lost a lot. There's people that have invested a lot, not just investing money, but investing time and investing energy and ideas. And unfortunately, you know, people had different outcomes. And so I think it, it's been a rough journey. I think also, like, transitioning from one client to the next, watching the changes in the DAO. It's been a road, definitely. Like, sometimes it's been the freeway, sometimes it's like a Jeep, like a gravel road with a Jeep.
yep, yep. Indeed, indeed. Let's see.
Oh, how are we doing on time? Because I know there's a party coming up. So today we've got a party, we got ABCs, and then we got Crypto Minotaur this evening. I think there's three events today,
Yes,
right?
so many activities on this beautiful Sunday or Saturday afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you're from. Um, yeah, we have Mary Shark is hosting something in about, I think, an hour and a half or so. Um, and she had mentioned that this event was kind of like something that she put together for like new users. So I mean, could be something to definitely check out, Vanessa, and see if there's any way that we can help, or I mean, even any of us that are listening in this room, that we can help any new users on Decentraland, answer questions, give them wearables, kind of just help them see what we see in this platform. I think that's like the best way to onboard. Really, it's like, yeah, we don't see the money, but I do see I do see a Twitter space here where I know most of the individuals, and I know just how great they are, and I know if I ever needed them, I could just one DM away.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the magic, the secret sauce. It's I think so. Um Raya's saying La Chama and X Meta Merch. And I think that, oh, sorry, I'm reading Help I'm Streaming's comment too. It made me laugh. After CBD, it's time for THC. um I am wearing the awesome wearable that they created. So yeah, we should definitely be at that party. And I love that they're bringing in more people.
Whoop whoop. We might have to bust out the Google Translate. They might be speaking Portuguese or Spanish.
I really wish we had an in-world translator built in, like almost a different chat where you could type in it, knowing that, like, hey, this might not fully translate my message, but it's like, like at least, oh gosh, I don't know how to do that, but man, AI is advancing so much that should be like totally doable.
You should try it. uh, yeah. Hmm. Let's see. It's 2 p.m., 4 p.m. Okay. Yeah, 3:30. Whoa, I hear myself. Yeah.
Jared, Jared, how are you? I hear myself too. I cannot hear him.
Yeah, maybe he's reconnecting. I think we should just submit our soul to the AI's overlords. What could possibly go wrong?
I'm gonna be running my trap line in the mountains. So you guys do that. I'm gonna be like living further off the grid.
I'm gonna be the first human subject for that Stargate AI thing or whatever. Elon and Stargate will probably collab for a super sick head antenna implant, so you could get Stargate in your human body.
You know what? If they collab for Vine first, I'll also volunteer as tribute. But we just needed the Vine collab to come before that.
You're just like, make me rich, and then I won't care.
No, I don't even need to be rich. I just need to dig myself out of the slight ditch that I'm in. So I don't. I'll even be at a loss. Just I don't want to be such a loser. I want to be a little bit less of a loser. How's that?
Hmm. But if we're in crypto, aren't we all losers? Or are we all
I
winners?
thought you were going to say if you're in crypto, can you really lose? Like, I don't know. Have you tried talking to normies lately?
I try not to, but at the same time, they don't have shit to say because Bitcoin is at 100K or near 100K.
I just know it's hard to talk to people like my boss for the snowmobiling. They're like, "You don't mind getting up, you don't mind being here super early in the morning." I'm like, "I'm just a DJ and I got nothing else going on." And they just like look at me. Um, I'm like, it's like a ski bum. It's kind of like that. And they're like, "Oh, okay, okay." So like, I can't even be like, "Yeah, man, like I rugged the snowmobile again." Ah, they will. It's like I gotta interpret everything.
Oh man, like yeah, I mean with my bosses or my coworkers, like, hey, doing anything interesting this weekend? And I'm like, oh, I don't know, just hosting and producing a 14-hour music festival over the weekend. Got like 14 performances and all this and that, and I have to do this and that, and I can just see like the sparks coming off of their heads, like the short circuiting.
Yeah, this is a pretty wild world that we are surrounded in.
Indeed, indeed. Alrighty. Well, we have spoken for about 2 hours. Have we covered all the topics, all the important, deep, divine topics today, Canessa? Have you checked your list?
Oh, I think so. I don't know, man. I thought Thursday was Friday. I was ready to apologize to Make for not making it to his party and Face Moons. I was like, dang it, I missed the Billy T Coin party. And then I was like, wait, it's Thursday. Like, so I don't know. Some weeks be like that. So
For me, it was one of those weeks where I knew exactly what day it was because I just wanted it to be Friday already. So yeah, alrighty, alrighty. Let's see. Just a little more thinking. Yeah, we spoke about like the little quick Angzar testing events that happened this past week. Um, the town hall. We spoke about wearable submission fees, and we talk about getting mauled by cougars in the wild. I feel like we had a solid lineup of topics today.
I think so. And I think I'll just say again, because there's new friends here. If you haven't checked out the Angzar, there's a lot of new stuff going on there, and they made a game. So go to the Coliseum and you can join the game. It's like if Quidditch and Rocket League had a baby. That's their game. And there's also a new thread in the CBD Discord. If you are going to build in the in-world builder, there's links right there to get you started. And there's also feedback you can give them on the game. So I highly suggest checking it out. Like, it was pretty fun to play, and I think they're going to make it cooler. So that's that's the kind of stuff we need, I think, right now, like being developed. And when people ask you what is there to do in Decentraland, that's, I think, one fun thing you can take them to and kick your friends' butt. It's like every 6 minutes there's a new game that you can join, and it's like you could have two people, you could do a 1v1, I think up to 5 people per team, so you could have a whole crowd there. And it's really cool. There's actually like a camera then that you can look at the scene, and I'm totally manifesting that Father Finn takes over as like a sportscaster, and then he's just having so much fun and doing it naturally that then like someday he gets scouted by like a like CBS or like ESPN, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is the kid with the golden voice. We want to give you a job." And then he leaves us forever.
Yeah, he could definitely like get me to do make some bad decisions through like the voice of the media being the mouthpiece of a national media source. Yes, yes. He-
Okay, how about this? We create a show, and it's Brandon Manis and Father Finn.
well, now all the media conglomerates are gonna have to fight over who they over both of them. Then
And if we could find Nay, I'd put her in the mix to represent the ladies, but I don't know. I haven't seen her around, but I think those voices. Then we have a competition who had the best voices. I think Nay was like just landslide, but they were close seconds.
lol. Alrighty. Well, I guess on this note, we have hit our 2 hour mark. What do you think, Anessa? Close down. Enjoy the weekend.
I I think it's a great time to go enjoy the weekend, do something fun, go touch grass or snow or warm water with gators in it.
No, no, no. We don't swim in the warm water with gators in it. We might catch the brain-eating bacterias. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, wait. There's some. Let's see. Mary is saying something about the heart movement, created hearts in movement. Okay, there's a weird thing with the glitch. Mary, are you seeing animated hearts? Because I am not. So, when I so there's two different versions of the cantina, and one has this like galaxy, and that's what I had deployed like 2 weeks ago, and then I took that out and put like animated hearts in for Valentine's Day. And then when I came in today, I haven't like touched it in over a week because now I'm scared to do anything to my build. Um, so when I came in today, the old one is there, and so I don't see hearts. I see like the planets going around. And now Mary just said something about hearts, so I'm like, What is she seeing? Oh, she sees hearts. Weird. Ho, ho, ho. I kind of do want my land to just take take charge of itself and just. What if you could program AI into your land? Like the land is going to deploy what it wants to see on it. Like train it to be like, no, your build sucks, loser. I don't want summer palm trees. I want like dystopian cyber, and so build for me. Damn it. Is that weird?
Well, you're
But I
basically
want my land.
enslaving AI here, but we'll just leave that judgment for the AI overlords later on down the road.
I do want my land. I'm way too anthropomorphic because, like, I want my land to have its own personality. That's what I should do. Instead of like an NPC on the land is the living, breathing thing. Ooh.
You're gonna need a server
Can,
for
can
that.
we can we do that? I'm gonna need a lot of like smart tech people to do that. But like, what if the land was like, okay, you know, Fortnite? Mazza would be so proud. I made it this long before mentioning Fortnite. Um, in the recent chapter, there's like the turtle that's made out of the earth, and you have to find it, and it's like breathing. But what if you had something like that where the land is alive? Oh my gosh! And you could have it talk on behalf of Decentraland. Oh, this could go bad, guys. This could go so bad because, like, what if Decentraland is like listening to everything that people have said and done on it for 5 years? And what if it's no happy?
What if it's angry? Yeah.
Yeah, what if it's like, come on, $90,000 for a 4-day music fest in the real world? Are you kidding? You could have spent that on me.
Lol, 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 lol.
Oh, I'm gonna do this, guys. I'm gonna make Decentraland living and breathing.
Yes, make a organic Decentraland. Is that what how
Yeah.
the right words?
Uh, Gosh, like, yeah, yeah, we should have cut the space like 5 minutes ago because now my brain is like, what is the most that AI has ever been integrated with like organic matter?
Yeah, now you're spilling all the alpha. All everyone that's listening is writing down your ideas so they could steal them.
Yes, and could you create an AI that is like, if it doesn't like you on the parcel, could it take colliders and like poop your avatar off the parcel or like kick it to jail?
Just like push you off. Or so.
Now I'm scared. I'm like, what the heck? What could our parcels do? You know, you think about Rustan and like what he did with his little jail, like put you in jail. Could you okay, could you give AI tools to the builder, like permissions to the builder, where then it could be deploying scenes where it really is like choosing what it wants on it?
That's deep. Alrighty.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
time to
we better
close.
cut. Now my brain is going nuts. All right, well. uh,
Final thoughts, Canessa? Comments, concerns?
I think you should cut me off at that because when I start thinking about like creating a living potential, that's we're done.
We're done.
Could afford
Canessa's jumped
we
off
could.
the deep end.
No, okay. True story. I was telling one of the founders about my idea of like when I die, cremating myself and then taking my ashes and like putting them into the circuit board and then putting that into the servers that run Decentraland. And like every time I say that, it's like a half, mostly joking. And they just looked at me like stone faced, like, yeah, you should tell that to like one of the other founders. They're like, they already have ideas about that. I'm like, oh shit. Like the spaceship has launched out of the stratosphere. So yeah, I should go touch grass now.
Yeah.
It's thank you everybody for being here and listening to our silliness.
For sure. Yep. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you for your time. Um, Beyond the NFT will be live this Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. We have our good friend Rustan coming through, and we're going to In World Builder our night away. Everyone will be welcome to join in coming in and building together. Like if we could all have a few of us building together at the same time, and just submit to the scene pool. Um, as a contribution, that is definitely a great way to contribute to the in-world builder, and yeah, kind of just test out the progress that they've been making, and if anything, maybe we can break some shit too. And let's see, what else, what else?
Oh, it's a big week, you guys.
How big is
It
it?
is. Well, it's Decentraland's 5th-year birthday, so the 20th. Uh, yeah, that's kind of big.
Who's throwing a party?
Everybody told me you were.
Excuse me, but my plans, I was halted on my progress due to waiting for answers from a certain group that ruins everything.
There. Yeah, no comment.
So they ruined it,
I
huh?
no. I think you know what we focus on what we can do, and I know that in May there's a CBD birthday, and what are we going to be at 3 years in May? Is that really?
Yeah, yeah, we sure are going to be 3 years in May.
Please, we need to make some kind of crazy 3-year-old build where we just are like throwing a temper tantrum, like Ruston's wrecked the house, like or or like a Bluey party because like 3-year-olds love Bluey, or just I don't know.
I know we mentioned the Decentraland party, but I also know someone else that has a birthday in the same week.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I think there's a few.
No, 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 don't do that.
All I can say is it's Loki's birthday is coming up, so I'm gonna have to get him some dog food.
Uh, should I spill the beans on whose actual birthday it is?
Well, I don't know. I think there's a bunch of birthdays this week.
I think you're deflecting.
And I think you need to ask why 5 times.
Why are you deflecting?
Oh, because it's easier.
Why is it easier?
Because I don't know, birthdays are birthdays.
Why don't you think that deflecting would be harder?
Here's why is because when I was growing up, my parents' anniversary was the day before my birthday, so they would go out of town and they'd like leave my sister a cake mix and be like, "Can you make her a birthday?" And then my sister would throw me the box and be like, "Here, you can bake yourself a birthday cake." So I was like, "Okay." So sometimes, yeah, I just hide.
Okay, you just eat the cake mix. Well, if that didn't spill the beans, it's Canessa's birthday this coming week.
Yes,
Yeah.
29.
The,
I'm so excited.
yep. You're turning 29. That is awesome.
I am always turning 29. There is a certain age, and once you get there, you're always turning 29 after that. So,
Yes. Uh,
well, thank you.
so yes, everyone, make sure to send lots of love to Canessa this coming week. She does so much for us here on the platform, and yeah, well deserved. And okay, I did say beyond the NFT. Birthday, DCL birthday, Vanessa birthday. Next week we'll be back for another space. And oh yeah, of course, there's most likely going to be TikTok Tuesday happening on Tuesday. Um, Tonight we will have Mary Shark's party here in about 2 hours or so. Um, then followed by ABC Decentraland and the Meta Tribe Plaza party has been moved to Saturdays. So that we have a full lineup again on a Saturday, Canessa. Remember the days when Saturdays were balling? We're back.
Yeah, yeah. This has gotten to be a busy day, so very cool to see that.
And if I'm not mistaken, probably Unity Cafe should be happening now or something maybe. But so yeah, that's something to probably keep an eye out for as well.
Yeah, I think I mean I've seen their event listing, but it's been up there, so I don't know exactly like when the time is, but I believe it is today.
Yeah, they're usually on Saturdays. I think they like usually start when we're here doing the spaces. And yeah, I
I
guess on that note it's
I
a good
see
time to close down. Huh? What's up?
I see a request from Javi, and I think Javi, you're part of the event, so definitely come on up and or get us started on another 2 hours of conversation. That happens too. How are you?
GM, Canessa, GM info. Yeah, I hope no because I'm a bit sick. Today I have like the flu, something like that. But yeah, I wanted to share a little bit today's event in Facebook in Mary Shark Lance. We are coming back with the artist of the month. Uh, Myself and Lunaticanto, we met a super cool artist here in Colombia, an NFT artist. We wanted to, well, we felt in love with her art. We wanted to, well, we showed her what we were doing in the Central, and it was like an instant match. So today, yeah, actually in 2 hours, we are doing, not gonna be a big party. It's gonna be like more like a small gathering, I would say. We're gonna put a playlist chosen by the artist. We're gonna give away also like a free wearable that is super cool because it's actually an in real life fashion design. We brought that to the Central and the same design. If anyone wants the wearable before the party, just ping me here on DM and send me your wallet or your username. But we will be giving away the wearable today in the body. Um, just to finish, an extra thing is that we're going to somehow replicate this event next week, but in real life here in Medellin, in Colombia. We're hosting an event where we're gonna give a well, we invited some artists here from Colombia, and we are gonna have a panel in front of the audience, and we're gonna talk about the experience that we're doing. We're gonna show what we do tonight in the Central, and explain to the audience basically how to bring your physical art or your physical designs into digital, into NFTs, into wearables. So this is gonna be like somehow like a hybrid event. It's not gonna be simultaneously. Today we have the party, and next week we have the in real life event. And yeah, I wanted just to come up here to share a little bit because you mentioned the event, and also of course you have any question. I'm super happy to answer. Thanks, Ganesh and Sinfu for creating this space.
Thank you, Javi. That sounds so awesome that you're making those connections and definitely representing the Spanish speaking community. So I like how you say it's not a big event. We'll see what we can do about that. I think everybody should change your schedule, see what you can do to be there, and make sure that they have a nice, warm Decentraland welcome. So thank you. You've been busy. I love seeing that.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's super fun to do things in the central. It's really rewarding because of you, the community. Like, it makes us super happy when you come to the event, when we see you enjoying the parties and the things that we do, and also we find it really meaningful, like bringing new people into the ecosystem, into the central, because they really love it. I mean, the feedback that we are having when we create these digital experiences, when they see their art, their avatar, their wearables in the central, is super positive. So yeah, really excited to keep doing this because it's super fun, and it has a lot, like a super nice energy.
Yeah, it does, and I feel like I'm hopeful that that's the energy we're just gonna continue to feel like there's I don't know like a wave, like a new wave, positive momentum. Maybe seeing more new friends come in, more events, more stuff getting published, and I don't know. Hopefully, we can all make little changes that then starts to feel like a big change that is like really clear to see. So thank you for all you're doing. It's super crucial that each community has their leaders, that when people come in they have somebody that they can talk to and feel comfortable with. So thank you. All right, Sin, you ready to lead us out?
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for being here. I will close out the space, and I will play some music at La Cantina. I'll stream some music there, and just for anyone that is hanging out in between events or just wants to vibe at La Cantina, you're more than welcome to. Um, just going to close this stream down, and then I'll fire up my other computer with some music, some YouTube music. Take care, everyone, and we'll see you back here next week at uh, at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Saturday. Bye. Love you all.